Welcome to A Rare Reality, a podcast powered by Jordan's Guardian Angels. I'm Christina Janes, Director of Outreach and Content Development for JGA, and also your podcast host. And I am joined today by two members of our team. You know them, you love them, our Executive Director, Carol Backhouse today, and our Director of Advocacy and Engagement, Brittany Cardoza. We have new titles, guys, so I'm learning and making sure we get them right. But we're excited today to talk all about how to get you connected to us. We have a million ways for you to engage with Jordan's Guardian Angels. And so today is kind of a highlight reel of all the ways to do that and do it well. So Carol, I'm going to come to you first because we talked so much about all of the ways to bring our families in and to bring the community in. And it's so important to get everybody together.
It really is, Christina, especially in the rare disease space. You know, there's power in working together and pushing that needle and supporting each other and finding ways to support our mission forward. And there are groups that don't have that luxury, and then we do. So how do we make that very efficient and do it well so we can continue to support our families and our children and each other in many, many different ways?
Yeah, and Brittany, one of our goals for 2023 is to work on engagement with our families, and that's something that is near and dear to your heart as well.
Absolutely. We are going to try to tap into every communication love language. And we're going to talk about each of the ways you can tap in today. If you want to check in with just one, you will be up to date on everything. We're going to share everything across all platforms. And if you want to make sure that you're not missing anything, you can follow us in a few areas.
Yeah, there's so many ways. And so I guess today is just a good way to break this down for everybody. Let's start with the basics because we can sign up on our website for the newsletter, which is comprehensive. It gives you everything you need to know on Fridays. It's right there for you. We put a lot of time and thought into this during our meetings. And what do our families need to know? We're streamlining it so that it's simple, so that it's clear, and all of your actions, your announcements, everything. So you can go to our website, jordansguardianangels.org, and sign up for the newsletter. That will it'll put you on the right track, if you will, to getting connected to us. Kind of a good starting place to just see what's happening on a weekly basis. Right, Carol?
Yeah, absolutely. And, take the time to at least browse it quickly, see what's in there, scan it if there's anything new. We're trying to funnel most important communication on a weekly basis through that newsletter. So it's important for you to open it, take a quick look. I know everyone is busy and you're getting million communication from a lot of different ways. But do take time to do that because we don't want you missing important information, especially if it's research related or something that is time sensitive, etc. So open it, take a quick look. If there's anything you want to follow up on, do. If not, then you're informed and you're up to date.
And we kind of take that as if you do one thing per week, open that email, check it, read through it, click the links, because that's where our major form of communication is. If you don't get it in your email, we post it to Facebook as well. So there's ways for you to get connected to that email, just to check it. It's such a good touch point for all of us. You're hearing from us. We're able to connect with you on a larger scale. So please read the email, please.
You do one thing. Read the email.
One thing. Please read the email. Brittany, we've kind of expanded. We have all of our social media channels, but we've also expanded into other ways for the families to connect to one another. And Slack has been a big way for us to work on that. And I think some of our families were a little bit intimidated in the beginning. How does this work? What are we doing? But it's catching on.
Yeah, think of it as one big AIM between all of us. We have a couple different categories where you can chat in different chat rooms. There's a research one or an introduce yourself one. And there's also the ability to make it so it can translate. And I know that we have some team members in our community that are happy to connect with you and walk you through that process if you're not able to figure it out on your own. But this has been really helpful for me. You can have it as an app on your phone. You can have it on your computer and just bookmark it. Super easy way to stay connected to everyone.
Yeah. And Carol, I think you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, and to add to that, that's an easy way to find sub communities. We always get a question like, who else here has E200K as an example? But under Slack, you have that group. Like you just go in and you join it, and now you're connected to that sub community. Or who here is in Germany, again. So it's like an automatic way to find people without having to like come and ask. And, it just, the group is there, you join it, and now you're connected.
Yeah. And it's when you click on it, I mean, the first time I ever opened it, I thought, what am I doing? And how does this work? But honestly, once you get going with it, it's kind of like a running conversation. I think AIM was a good way of putting it, Brittany, for all of us that used to use that. So you're able to message back and forth and just communicate in your own way on your own time. I think that's kind of the purpose of 2023, is giving you ways to communicate and communicate better back and forth. So part of that, Carol, is we have so many ways for our families to improve their experience with JGA, so you don't feel like you're alone. You feel like there's a lot of ways to bring you into the fold so that you feel like you're a part of something. Our special projects group, our ambassadors, they're working really hard to make sure that those that's how our families feel. So let's touch on those a little bit. Let's start with the ambassadors, because that's a really great way to connect in real time.
Yeah, so the ambassadors came along last summer, and the reason we saw a need for this is the fact that our community is really growing globally, and we heard feedback from families saying, what about us in Italy? What about us in France? Like, how are we supporting us in the best possible way? And the answer is, we need help to support you in the best possible way, because we have visibility about, what's available within the US, because that's where our team is and what kind of advocacy looks like and what our families here might need. But we don't have that as much of visibility when it comes to our global communities. And we also don't speak all the languages. So, we do our best going back and forth and using translators and all that, but it's nothing like having a person in your region that speaks your language, that can connect with you, especially if you're a new family kind of coming in and saying, I'm here and I can answer your question, and here's everything that is available based on my journey so far. Mm-hmm. So that's really why we created the ambassador program. We have 12 ambassadors so far. I actually just heard that we have one more we'll announce later, but it's really important. And that team of ambassadors are really glued to what we're doing. They're very informed. They go through training, and they act as to bring the communities together. So as an example, there's our ambassador in Germany is kind of leading the effort to bring the German group together in a meeting in the summer. So now this community, they don't have to travel far to be together, support each other, and make this connection there, right there and then. So if you know who your local ambassador is, there's a sheet on the website that lists everyone. If you want to become a local ambassador in your area, if that's a gap currently, we'd be happy to bring you on, explain more, and tell you what that entails. But we're really excited. I mean, we have a lot of global initiatives happening this year, and our ambassadors are going to be a huge part of that.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And we appreciate the dedication of our families to come together and take part in this. And that kind of leads to the special projects group as well. Some of them are intertwined, but they've really stepped up to grow the mission and to make sure that we're moving forward.
Yeah, actually, the concept of the ambassador was an output of the special projects committee, right? Because the special projects committee is a 2-year commitment. And the reason for that is that we want families to kind of overlap, so someone is serving year 1 and 2, and then someone comes in on year 2 and then stays on, so we have that continuity in what we're doing. But we heard a lot of families say, we want to be more involved. How do we help more? And we also recognize that there might be areas that we might not be thinking of right now, or we might not have the bandwidth to do as a JGA team. So the combination of two of those, that's why we wanted to bring the families on. No one is gonna know the pain and the need more than people that are living it, right? And so really bringing that team on, and The response has been amazing, but that's another way to get involved, to get engaged. This year we have 3 subgroups, and we might spin off more if it gets too big or if the projects get too specific. But currently we have a fundraising effort, we have a system advocacy effort, and we have one looking at, just any special projects outside of that we need to support. So if you'd like to be involved in that, we're currently taking applications, quote unquote, and kind of forming the groups to do that going forward. But a lot of great initiatives came out of this in 2022, and I believe putting our minds and hearts and all our soldiers on the ground together will lead to more big things to happen this year as well.
No question about it. It's been so only positive. So much good has come out of bringing everybody together. So if you want to get involved either as an ambassador or in special projects, please reach out. Please don't hesitate to reach out to one of us and get that ball rolling, because we could really use you as part of the team too. Another great place for families to start, if you need it, if you want it, if you want some more information, go to our resource center. Brittany, there's everything under the sun there.
Absolutely everything. There will be times where I get emails from parents and they say, we would really love a resource like this. I'm like, well, we have it and it's on the website. So if you are looking for information about Jordan syndrome or Simon's Searchlight or the steps of how to get involved, if you need a book welcoming your child to a school so they can advocate for themselves and share what Jordan syndrome is about with their class, that's there too. It's a great place. And if we happen to not have something on the resource center that you need, we will absolutely make it.
Yeah, we will create it, we will put it together, and we will put it on that resource center for you. So again, another great way. Advocate for yourselves. Please reach out to us if there's something that you're missing, something that you need. We're happy to create that. That's what we do. So all of that is right there as well.
Yeah, and I want to add to that we are working with our ambassadors to translate important documents to different languages. So they've been really great working with us and making sure that we don't miss anything in the translation, because even when we hire professionals, they don't always do exactly what we need them to do. So we'll have more of these resources available in multiple languages as we go on. So just bear with us as we work through that. It's a long process, but that's in a plan, and we're working towards that as well.
Yeah, certainly on our radar. It's been a greater undertaking than we expected, but we're really grateful that we've had so much wonderful help from our ambassadors. Thank goodness. So we're moving that ball right along, and we'll be having lots of translated documents for our families very soon. Carol, another way to get involved, of course, joining the research, joining the family database, 2 very important ways to get supported and to also move this initiative forward.
Yeah, so let's start with the database. So the database is really just an internal tool that keeps track of our kiddos, their families, where they're located, how do we contact them. It's as simple as that. We don't want Facebook to be like the only way we can contact families, because if that stops being a thing tomorrow, now our group has dismantled, right? So we want to be able to know who our families are, where they are, how do we reach them. And why is that important? Because we're getting very close to clinical trials, and we want to make sure that everyone that wants to participate in this is informed and able to participate in this. So that list is really not shared with anyone. I do share subsets of that, as in like ages, variants, locations, because that helps our research team kind of do their planning and see, if there are trends or anything like that. But names, emails, anything like that is not shared. It's just really just an internal database for our purposes and for just a way to keep track of our families. That's how we know how many of us there are, and how do we email you, and how do we keep you involved. And that leads us to the conversation about joining the research. I will soon be doing a huge push and taking our families through each step of the research to kind of really improve us through that process. So we've partnered with Simon Searchlight from day one. They hold the registries, they take that information, they remove any identification from that and make that available to our research team. And that I can't emphasize how important this is to do now more than ever, because we are getting close to identifying treatments that will work for our children. We need that data before giving that drug and that data after to really see if that's working and how that looks like. To get FDA approval, we need that information. So simonsearchlight.org is where you sign up, is where you check your dashboard, is where you answer all your questions. And as I said, I'll be kind of giving more information in the next few weeks to really help us get our numbers to where we need to be. So we have as close as 100% participation of anyone that wants to participate, so we can be really prepared for these clinical trials, hopefully hitting us early 2024.
Yeah. And if you're curious about Simon Searchlight and what that looks like, what that means, how they come together, there's a lot of resources on the Resource Center as well. So that could be very helpful if families are in any way confused. That can break that down as well, so that there's just a little more information in case you needed it. Join the research, do it now, so that we can make sure that we're set and ready to go, because we've never been closer. It's here. The time is now. So please join that research. Another way, something that we've really, really, really wanted to grow in 2023 is our ways to support our families. And there's a variety of different ways that we're going to be doing that. One of which is the Halo Project for our siblings. Brittany, we're seeing such a great turnout for our events with our siblings, and really positive feedback. And we're feeling really grateful that that's working. It's
Absolutely
been so positive.
One of our awesome family members, Lexi, has stepped up, and she went through a whole sibling support training program, and she kicked off the first in-person sibling support workshop at our conference in July. People loved it. It was awesome to see the bonds that came from the siblings as they walked out of those rooms. It was definitely a tangible effect. And then recently, a couple weeks ago, she did the first online, and we break it up into, I believe, 8 through 13 and then 14 and above. So the kids have their own group that they can chat in with kids their own age, who are kind of on their same level about what they're experiencing with their sibs. And it's also confidential. We don't have other people, and the team isn't in the workshop. Parents aren't in the workshop. That's just a place that they can go and really chat about what's going on and what they're experiencing, without feeling like they need to censor themselves. So we're looking to expand the Halo program, hopefully get a couple more older sibs through the workshop process this coming year, and have another one on the schedule for you soon.
So fun. It's so positive. It's been really, really wonderful to grow this project, and we can kind of look toward the future and see that we're hoping to expand again too. Carol, we've talked about ways to support our families, in addition to supporting our siblings, supporting our families through grief, in many different ways, supporting our families through anything that they may be feeling, giving avenues to really talk about that too.
Yeah, and we have a few ways that we facilitate that. I mean, we have the dads group, the moms group. We do virtual meetups, and we're gonna be kicking some of that off this year as well. But it's really just an opportunity to come together, get to know each other. If you have something on your mind, just put it out there in the chat group with, I see the moms being part of that, and I'm not sure what happens in the dad group, but just put it out there and say, hey, this is happening. Whether you want advice or just someone to talk to, it works either way. So we'll have more opportunities to participate. We're looking at doing workshops that help you through kind of coping mechanism, acceptance, mental health, maybe even scholarships available for families. I mean, we're kind of looking at designing these programs, and we'll share them as they become available. But if there's anything in particular you'd like to see, just reach out. We're open to ideas and would love to alter it to be exactly what our families are looking for.
Again, this is meant to be a highlight reel of the main ways for you to connect with us, you as our families, as our global community, ways for you guys to feel like you are part of this wonderful community and can come together. So we've touched on the biggest points. Again, you can be as involved as you would like to be, or you can stay on the outskirts and kind of watch and see what's happening. But really, the more the merrier. We're here for you. If you found us here on A Rare Reality, you know that our podcast is up and running, and we're in season 3 now. So there's a lot of ways to get connected there. Lots of really great resources, some incredible guests that provide really special insight and ways that you may not know that you're feeling, but can really listen to. So take a minute, listen to our podcasts, check out our social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn is up and running, Twitter. Also, our YouTube channel has translation services on it. So a lot of our videos and all the podcasts, they're right there and ready for you if you need translation too. So that's all available. We are here for you in any way possible. So if there are questions, if there are needs, please reach out, because we can't do it without you. And I think that's the biggest message: is get connected, stay with us, stay a part of it, and reach out in any way.
Yeah, I mean, our team here really works around the clock to make sure our families are supported, the research is happening. But if we're not getting through to you, there's really nothing we're doing is important if it's not reaching our families, and nothing we're doing is complete if we're not working with our families to get to the finish line. So whether you're listening or reading or getting involved or whatever you are in the process, we hope there's something for you and that you'll join us in any capacity you can, so we can really optimize what we're doing for our children and for our families.
Brittany, I'm going to let you chime in last.
Yeah, I mean, we're stronger together as a community, and we've heard that time and time again from Dr. Chung, from other communities who have been through what we're going through. The more that we can all come together to share ideas and push this research forward, the better. Yeah. So please find the way that works best for you and stay with us.
Find your communication love language. I like that. Whatever that looks like, make it work for you and join us. And on one more note, if there's one thing that you take away from this, please, one place to click. We're going to have a blog post up, a special blog post with all of the links for the different things that we've referred to today. So that blog post will be up on the website. You can just click on blog, check it out, be able to have all the links, everything that you need right there. So one click, and you'll have all of your information in that spot too. Anything else before we go, ladies?
I think we covered it all. We're very excited, to do another year through, and as we get closer to, our clinical trials, I mean, that's really crunch time for us, and we're excited for everything to come.
It's going to be amazing. All right. Thank you both so much. And thank you to our global community out there. Thank you for listening. If you want to check out the podcast, it's on Apple, Spotify, and Google, as well as our website, jordansguardianangels.org/podcast. So check that out. Check out the YouTube channel too. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the work that you two do as well. And thanks to our families for always supporting us back. So we look forward to 2023 and having you all with us. And much more to come. Don't you worry. We're always growing and expanding and coming up with new ideas. So
thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.